Hei Daniel, kan du lage et slikt skjærebrett til meg også?
Hi, my name is Daniel, and that was my mum. She lives in Norway, and she was asking me to make her one of my chopping boards that she could collect on her next visit. During lockdown, I built a small workshop at the back of my garden here in Hertfordshire, England. But before we carry on, I'd like to add that this video is part of a challenge. The challenge was set by Gradually Wizardly, a great YouTuber and maker. But rather than me telling you about this challenge, let's hear it from the man himself.
December the 12th will be the 5th anniversary of Gradually Wizardly, and I've been thinking about what I should do to kind of mark the occasion. I feel like something should be done for it. So I would like to issue a build challenge. The original thought for this channel was a skill building thing. Learn something new every day. So here's the challenge. Build something you could not have made 5 years ago. Film the product, the process, upload it to YouTube, and use the hashtag 5 years ago challenge. I want you to not just make a thing you couldn't make before, but I want you to give it away to someone you legitimately care about. And I want that to be part of the thing. And as a prize for this, I will be giving away my 5-year challenge project to whoever wins. I'm going to reach out to a bunch of companies that I like and love and use and whose products I actually legitimately care about, and ask them to chuck something in the box. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
Thanks, buddy. Now let's carry on. Aside from pallet wood creations, making chopping boards has been one of my obsessions for a while. So when my mum asked me if I could make her a chopping board, it didn't take me long to get started. So far in this video I have chosen the different woods and started to rip them down in preparation for the glue up. This time I have selected black walnut as the main part of the board with strips of oak, iroku and paduk. I sourced the hardwood offcuts from a sawmill company not far from where I live, so the wood that I use depends much on what they have available in their offcut selection. Here I'm ripping down 3 strips of paduk. It's got a really nice red colour even before oiling it. One of my friends who watched my 2 previous videos highlighted some health and safety concerns. So out comes the push stick. Thanks Chris for the reminder. In hindsight, I do actually agree with him. I quite like my 10 fingers. I feel a bit stupid here. The camera is completely off. What a novice. I have a feeling though that it's not the only time this has happened in this video. Check what's in the frame next time. This is the order of how the strips of wood are being glued in. Speaking of glue up, for this bit I'm using my 4 parallel jaw clamps. My stepdaughter gave me these clamps as a present a couple of years back. Yes, the same one that I made the floating bedside shelves for in my previous videos. So thanks Lou. The glue I'm using is Type Bond 3, and as many makers and woodworkers know, this is the preferred glue as it's waterproof and food safe, so it's perfect for chopping boards. And this is the point where I realise that I need to buy more glue. I think it might be enough. Yeah, that did it. Thought I'd run out there for a second, so that's a relief. I need to add that to my shopping list. If you've made it this far and like this sort of videos, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. I know it's early days in my channel, but there is more content coming soon. I have already filmed the next video and have many more planned. Thank you in advance. And now they are stacked in the right order. They just need a good old squeeze. Now the next day, the glue is dried and it's time to take some of the pressure off, literally. When I clamped it yesterday, the wood slipped in the clamps, so I'll have to fix that with a track saw. You've probably noticed the dried glue squeeze out on both sides of the board. Yeah, that's going to come back and bite me later. I'm using the track saw because when I integrated the table saw into the bench, I didn't extend the T-tracks from the table saw onto the bench top. This is where the dried glue started causing me some issues. I should have removed it before sending it through the thicknesser. The board just didn't want to go through properly, so most of the footage from this part was edited out. There is a bit of bark left on one of the edges of the walnut. That had to go, so I'm using my table saw again to rip that off and to clean off one of the ends. To clean up all the edges, I decided to chamfer them, so I'm installing a chamfer bit into my router table. It's amazing what this simple step does to the final look of the board. Feeling the weight of the board, I know my mum's going to struggle to pick it up from the work surface. To get around this, I installed this cove router bit to make it a small handle for better grip. I'm sure that will make it easier. These scraps of MDF that I'm clamping down here are end stops, so that the handle is routed out in the centre. It also makes repeat cuts simpler, so that I can do the same on the other side. Sanding. Not my favourite part of woodworking, but this step in the process can make or break the finished product, so it's necessary. Before I put the finish on, I'm adding my maker's mark with this branding iron. I'm using this torch to heat it up because I couldn't afford the electric one. For finish, I'm using this food safe mineral oil. Keeping it simple on this one, but it's so satisfying to see how the grain and the colour pop. While I apply this finish, I just want to say that I'm sure this isn't the best or most effective way to make a chopping board. If you should have any advice, I would appreciate if you could leave a comment below. I now need to let that soak in before I wipe the excess off. And here are some shots of the finished board, safely over the pond in Norway in my mum's kitchen. I'm sure she's happy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.